So we just had some news come out that the Packers have gotten involved in a trade right before the trade deadline, but they are not buyers, they are sellers. They have traded away Preston Smith. It came out from Ian Rappaport, who said this: sources, the Steelers aren't done. They are trading for Packers veteran pass rusher Preston Smith. One of the NFL's best defenses gets better. And then we got the compensation update a few minutes later from Adam Schefter, who says, trade compensation update per sources. Steelers are sending a 7th-round pick to the Packers in exchange for edge rusher Preston Smith. So the Packers trade away Preston Smith for a 7th-round pick. And I honestly think this is a good move by Brian Gutekunst. And the reason being, Preston Smith has not been as good as he had been in years past in Green Bay. Currently, if you look at his win percentage per PFF, among edge rushers, he's 106th in the NFL at an 8.2% win percentage, which is not very good. He's the same amount of pressures as Kingsley and Egbare with about 40-ish more snaps. So he hasn't been very productive. He has 3 sacks on the year. He is about to turn 32 years old. And I think the biggest factor that Brian Gutekunst did this for only 7th-round pick, it comes down to the cap hits in future years, because currently Preston Smith is under contract for 2025 and 2026. And I was taking a look at his cap hits that he's scheduled for right now. Next season, he's supposed to have a $17.5 million cap hit. And then in 2026, he's supposed to have a $18.2 million cap hit. So those are massive cap hits for, any kind of player, but especially for a guy who's going to be 32 going into next season, will turn 33 near the end of next season. Those are some massive cap hits. And so what I think Brian Gutekunst is doing here is just getting this contract off the books, trading an aging player who has not really been productive or hasn't really been productive much this season. I think if you look at Lucas Van Ness and JJ Egbare, they've been slightly worse when it comes to the win percentage. JJ 123rd, Van Ness 129th, but they're not that far off from Preston Smith in what they've done this year. And so I think because of that, you're going to get cap savings. I don't think it's a bad move. It just feels to me like Gutekunst is getting ahead of these Preston Smith cap hits in future years. So that way in 2025, 2026, the Packers don't have as much money on the books for Preston Smith. I did see from Tom Silverstein that he said it's going to be a $5 million dead cap hit next year for Preston Smith, which just means he's still going to count $5 million against the cap, even though he's not on the team. But considering with him being on the team, it would have been a $17.5 million cap hit. If all those numbers are right, the Packers save about $12 million with this Preston getting traded for next year's cap. So I honestly do not have a problem with this. I don't think the Packers defense gets worse with Preston Smith gone. As I said, Egbare and Van Ness have been slightly less productive when it comes to win percentage. But as I said, JJ and Egbare has the same pressures as Preston Smith. So I don't think this is going to hurt the Packers any way this season. And so I think that's why Gutekunst is willing to make this trade. And then you have Aaron Mosby, who hasn't played much this year at edge rusher, but he did play a few snaps last week and had a sack in the Lions game. So my guess is they think that they're going to be fine with Rashawn, with Van Ness and Egbare as number 2 and 3, and then potentially Aaron Mosby as the 4th guy there. And who knows, maybe the Packers still will make a move before the deadline comes to pass. I know people have been wanting them to trade for an edge rusher, and so maybe that happens, and we'll keep an eye on it. But honestly, I don't think the Packers defense gets worse here with the way Smith has been playing recently. It is unfortunate. It was, I enjoyed having him here for years. He was very productive for a long while here in Green Bay, so it's going to be sad to no longer have him on the roster. Wish him the best with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But that is the most recent news. If you want more Packers updates, Packers news, feel free to subscribe down below. I always put them out as soon as I see the news. I try to get it out as quickly as possible. So make sure you have the post notifications turned on in case there are any other trades that go down in the next few hours the next few hours, because the deadline is about to take place. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.